Can you guys hear me? Because we've never used this before, so this is our first time, so you guys are our guinea pigs. Well, thank you guys so much for being here tonight, and I would like to introduce you to Miss Allison.
Hello.
I've been talking about her for the last couple of months. For those of you guys who have attended our meetings, I have secretly taken you back there and said, hey, she's coming, she's coming, she's coming, so she's here now. So it's a really pleasure having her here tonight with us because, you know, one of my biggest thing has always been, you know, specialty tiles. So for those of you guys who know me, you know, we have curated this showroom here to be very special. You know, there's a bunch of showrooms out there, and we definitely don't want to be like anybody else, and the only way not to be like anyone else is to be different and be creative and be crazy, right? So Allison Eden Studio, you know, was part of ADR Houston for a very, very long time, and recently I reconnected with her, and I said, I need new showrooms, new showroom boards, because those of you guys who know me, I did not transfer anything from the ADR location because I wanted to have a fresh look. So we spent last couple of months designing some of these panels that you guys see. These are all custom designed for this showroom, and she was very, 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 you know, adjusting to what I wanted, and she had to redo some of my boards because those of you guys who know me personally, I don't do colors. This is the most color that you will ever see on me, okay? So having said that, you know, it is a pleasure having her here.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. You know,
thank you for having me.
And I'm going to also introduce you guys to Joseph. Joseph is the marketing person behind her. And I'll have him speak a few lines about him. But before I do that, Allison, we would like you to talk about you. You know, tell us, you know, what inspires you to be so crazy? Because this is nothing like anything that's in my showroom. In fact, you know, when I received these showroom boards, I said to everybody here in this team, I don't even know where to put her here. Like, I don't know where to put her in my showroom because everything is so white, everything is so gray. So so we decided last week that we were going to create this vignette that's right behind our desk here. So with the help of Saul, you know, we got this done, you know, last week, and we're featuring her, and we'll be featuring her everywhere we can because she needs to be featured. So tell us a little bit about you and what inspired you and what got you started.
Okay. Nice, I have two of these, so. Hi, I'm Allison Eden. I started Allison Eden Studios 30 years ago in New York City. We are currently still in New York City, creating, manufacturing, and I make all of our work by hand in Brooklyn. It started as a hobby. I was in fashion school at FIT. I fell in love with glass by walking by a glass store. One day I walked in and they had all these beautiful colors, and that was the end of my career in fashion. And I actually bought some glass. This is 1993, and I would make little samples, and I was the copy girl at Nautica as my internship in college, and I would make little samples and I'd keep them behind my copier, and they'd say, you know, hey girl, I need 10, you know, I need 100 copies. I'm like, well, are you looking to renovate or redecorate? Because I have some ideas, you know, and these people were like, what? We need 10 copies. And so I would go on my lunch break to all the other clothing showrooms to see if anybody was looking to renovate or to possibly like what my Elmer's glue glued glass broken tiles on a cardboard. And it really, it went from being something that I really believed in into a business. And I immediately got a little showroom, and I just started hustling my tiles. I didn't even know what a tile was. I had no clue. What is flooring? What is a tile? But I brought my little samples to a showroom. The first one, they gave me like 8 vignettes, and I sat on the floor and I glued tiles to a vignette, and that started my business. I love glass. I think it's so beautiful. It has textures and the colors are magnificent. it's translucent, so you could backlight it. And from there, I started calling casino designers and hotel designers, and it was resonating because it was so different. And my tile doesn't really look like anybody else's, but it's really for the person that wants something so unique and so different out of out of the box. And I think that, as a designer, it's so beautiful to have that one room that's really different. They might be doing white and gray, but if you could talk them into a fabulous powder room, because that's where your clients always go, is into the powder room. And really that's where the party is in the powder room. Like, that's where they're gonna look around and say, oh my God, can you believe what she did? Or, and so that's my favorite room in the house to do, is the powder room, because I always think that's like the party room. And so I love color, I love patterns, I hand draw everything. If you're working on a project and you have the wall sizes, I'll be happy to do renderings for you. And I do it all by hand. I don't even have a computer, so it's literally all by hand. I have hundreds of colors to choose from. In the showroom, you'll be able to have a box of standard colors, but if your client has wallpapers and fabrics that they'd like to match, send them to me and I will make custom samples for you to get to your client. And I can do with them in one day and overnight them back to you. So you could say, it's coming in on a Friday, but I need it back on Tuesday. So no problem, I will make them Saturday and let them dry. They go out Monday. And you'll be able to really go that extra step to show something unique. I work through all of my dealer networks, and I love going into the showrooms and seeing what they have. And sometimes, it's just, you need that one unique product because there is that one client that wants something really different and out of this world. And then there is also, the budgetary, you just want white bricks and call it a day. And I have the solution to that too. So during COVID, in New York City, we were told we had to close. You can't, you will get fined if you're open. And I refused to close. So, but we were a little bit slow in the beginning. So I had everybody in my staff make tile. And I just said, just make. Let's make some fabulous patterns. Let's just get it out there. And that became my ready to ship collection. So it was easy patterns that now we stock in the studio. And it came from not being able to actually create, and we weren't allowed to. So my ready to ship, we were stocking because I didn't want to let anybody off. When you're a craftsman, you got to keep creating. And so this ready to ship collection really took off because it was in stock. It was only in stock because we had so much material, and I needed to keep the studio moving. And so we actually we now stock 14 patterns in beautiful, beautiful colorways, really, really simple, and they go with all of our patterns. For instance, all of the murals over here, they have a correlating ready-to-ship pattern. So for instance, if you're working on a project, they're like, oh, it's so out of the budget. Well, you don't have to do the whole room. You could do, say a section, and then do the correlating ready-to-ship colors with it. I thought that was a genius idea, and it really worked. And it's really nice to be able to say, okay, it will go tomorrow. If you forgot to order something, our regular lead times are like 4 to 6 weeks, but also in the custom, if you need something in a week, we can do it because we stop everything in the studio and everybody works on it together.
Get ready to bang.
Yeah, and it's happened before, like, oh my God, we thought we ordered, but we didn't, and we need 100 feet of this, and they're installing next week. Well, we'll stop everything and we'll do it, but we do have a great line for that reason. Our Our newest thing is our stone collection. I absolutely love, 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 love stone. And so I wanted to create a collection of 5 of our oldest patterns and put them into all different types of stone. Well, it's not up there yet. But what I did a twist. I did 3 different textures all together. So they're super, super textural. I did a leathered, a polished, and a honed all together in every pattern. And if there is a certain pattern that you love, we can custom colorway that as well. The lead time on the stone is about 10 weeks, but we will get you the exact colorways that you want. And these stones are just beautiful. So I love what I do. I think it's just beautiful. It's funny because I used to say, I love my glass so much I could eat it. So Joseph came up with the term like, no, you can eat it. So I actually made you, they're Jolly Ranchers, but we made you glass to eat. And I think there's nothing more beautiful than glass. You know, you could just do so much with it. And it's a beautiful, beautiful finish. Cutting it by hand. I cut everything by hand in the studio. So I'm on top of every single project and they're like my babies. And so just so you know, like whatever project you ever do, it's going to be perfect. You are never going to have a problem. I can't even count issues in the 30 years on one hand. I mean, and if there was an issue, we take care of it. We're there to make you love your product. I'm always available. On my installation instructions, it has my cell phone because I want those calls. I want you to call me. I want you to ask questions. I want you to love the glass as much as I do. And also a US made product. It's you know, it's fleeting at this point, and I'm very proud to manufacture in not only the U.S. but in New York City, where you know it was a manufacturing town for ages, and now nobody manufactures there, and there's really no business left there at all, actually. But I'm very, very proud of that fact that you know we've kept all of our custom stuff here, and I love that. And you know, and I am happy to work on any types of projects. If you have some strange requests, I will hand draw it for you and help you visualize that design to come to life. So, do you have any questions?
Do you work strictly with designers and architects, or you do also, you know, private you know, clients?
Oh gosh, like I do everything. I mean, I do from casinos to hotels to backsplashes. You know, if it's, well, let me hold 2, not 1, but 2. But I'll work with you to create anything. You know, we've done some of the craziest projects, and you know, and I've actually learned I could actually basically do my own installations and build a house at this point, because I've learned every little detail about construction, and you know, it's very, very detailed, and it has to be perfect. You know, I was in my shower at the hotel, and I noticed the grout lines just weren't perfect. You know, like, who else notices these things? You know, like, you look at those details, and I realized, oh my God, like, that's what I look at. I go beyond the, oh, it's so pretty in here, to like, oh, those grout lines look horrible. So.
Allison, I'll ask,
Okay.
well, we run around, and anybody has any questions, raise your hand. I'll run the microphone. How do designers work with Pomogranite to work with you?
So so Pomogranite has a glass box of all of our colors. We have,
Here, thank you. There's somebody in this company who's trying to take over my job.
and there's only, this is a handful of colors. For instance, if your client comes in with, I don't know, I'm gonna pull a stone. You know, we're using this for the counter, we're using this for the floor, send it to me. I will make some correlating samples that will be perfect, that you can show to your client, and I'll help you sell it. If it's not perfect, it's not going to sell. And also, you know, it helps visualize when the client sees like, wow, this really looks nice together. And it makes you look like a rock star that you went that extra mile to have these samples produced. And I love making them. I love getting a package of wallpaper and fabrics and tile and actually creating something custom. And everything always will look different. So their neighbor, you know, Mrs. Jones next door is never going to have what you have because it's all made for you.
Do you also help us create a theme, you know, with all these samples that you will be getting from us? Let's say we want leaves, or we want a diamond shape, or some recommendation from you. We'll get that as well.
Oh, yes.
Because you are like an artist, and everything has absolutely a meaning. Definitely.
Oh, that's my dream job, is when you send me, you know, oh, they want to do, you know, a wall of vines with flowers and add in some palm trees and put some birds in, and, you know, give me your wish list of what your client loves, and I draw it all for you to scale to the wall. And then, you know, I color it in colored pencils, but you get the point, you know, of what it will look like. And then we will choose, I will send you also color swatches that you could use to pull out. And then during production, send you progress pictures every few days to show you. And the clients love that, to see it coming to life. And it's not, to me, this is not just a tile. These are, oh, it's so unique. And they get very excited, like, look what's, you know, they just finished this part and this part. And I send probably too many pictures because I get so proud when it's coming out so pretty. Like, oh, look today, like you'll get so many from me. And I think it's so nice to see, and you like it and you know it's going to be fine because you're approving it as we go. And if some reason, oh, they decided they didn't want the mirror. Okay, so we'll take that out and we'll put something else in. So it's fun to work together because it's your vision, unless you want it to be my vision, and we make something very, very unique and fun. And I love doing it. So, you know, use me, and I can sit there and just draw all day long and help you create something so unique.
Allison, how does the creative process work in working with Pomogranate? So designers have a custom project. How do they work with Pomogranate to work with you for the end project?
Well, they'll just, like I said, choose your counters, choose your floors, choose the basics, and then let's create. I always thought, like, the walls in your home, that's a full-on canvas for me. So choose the first thing, you know. I actually almost passed out when I went back to see all the slab back there. I mean, I redecorated my apartment 20 times over today. But find your stone, find your flooring, send that to, find your fabrics, and let me help you create from the bottom up. And it could be one of our standard patterns. We don't just have lips, believe me. We have really conservative patterns. I mean, I didn't build my business doing this. We have a lot of very super saleable patterns in your colors. And once I know what you've chosen, I always think like the stone, your counters and your floors are very important. And leave the walls to me, and I will create something really beautiful. And I also, we can do the plain bricks as well. But maybe there's just like niche areas that you want that. Something very unique, but things to match. I could get that for you as well. We can cut those. So nothing is too difficult for us. So they just want a 3x6 bricks, I got you covered. And we have every color under the rainbow. If you don't see it here, I can still get it for you. Yes?
piece of glass?
Oh gosh, well, so if it's going to be, 12 by 12s, these are small lips. I do bigger, I do much bigger. I would say about 12 inches in one piece because I cut them by hand. And I would say 50% of the time they break. So before, while they're on my table. So I don't like to go larger than 12 any larger than the stone. But if you want it, if I've done before many times, huge lips, but those will be in multiple pieces. I'll do those, where like in a broken pattern where, but they're all close together. Since we do it by hand, you don't see a grout joint so much because I make sure all the grout joints are close together. Yeah, like the overlapping circles. I cut those by hand with an eyeglass cutter. So there's no grout lines. You don't see any grout lines at all because I put them really close. And so just so you can see. Oh, okay. I fell in love with this stone in the back. So, okay. So this is Statuario Rosa. And
From pomegranate stone.
yes, right. Sure. I walked by this, I was like, I have to have this in my house. But I was like, this is a great one to show. For instance, your client chooses this and they're like, we love this. All right, what are we gonna do on the walls? Well, I have matching glass that, we could choose that goes with everything and we put it together. And for instance, say they like this pattern. I'll make you a sample in all the colors together. And, you could change anything you like as long as you like the pattern. This pattern is so wonderful in a bathroom because it's like bubbles and it's very serene. It's crafted so beautifully. I've never been a huge fan of grout, and there's really no grout. I mean, you do grout it because that's what you need to do with tile, but I go super, super close. So, you don't have any grout issues. And let me just put it together because I was like, this is so pretty. Like together, this is beautiful. I mean, it was just what I pulled together, but you could change. And, we could add in different colors. So you would just really choose the color palette that you like. I'll make you the sample. But I do love when I get packages in the mail of, your flooring. Just because why not make it match perfectly? If you're going to do custom, let's do custom, like perfect. And I get so excited when a package comes. Yes? So the well, okay, no, I wouldn't do this one, but we have stone now that you could do. We do the same pattern in stone, and the stone, the color palette is so, all over the place that you can choose something that looks just like this in stone. Mirror, you really shouldn't use mirror on a floor because it scratches and then it's mirrored, it's reflective. But I have to say, I did it in my house because I wanted to do a disco ball floor, and I raised 2 children, 2 boys who rode big wheels up and down it, and it's fine. I wouldn't sell it to somebody that was like super OCD, but I was like, but you know what? It works. It's fine, and it didn't break, and. I always say, life is short. If you want it, do it. And if I'll always give you extra, God forbid, you have a floor with the glass and they drop a bottle and something breaks. Something's going to break if you put it on a tile floor also. So, but I'm always here. Hopefully I'll always be here to, send you extra pieces and help you through that. But, as we've learned, life is short, live wild, why not?
Anybody have any last minute questions? Any other questions? Okay.
Yeah.
Just a quick question regarding maintenance.
Maintenance.
And what sizes do your pieces come in?
Okay, so everything comes like a jigsaw puzzle, mostly in 12 by 12 interlocking sheets. Maintenance, it's glass. It's like Windex. That's all you need. You don't have to, there's no sealing of this. I mean, it's Windex and you're done. And it will last. I mean, literally, I started in 1993, and those same pieces are still up today and still perfect. So it's not going to change. It's not going to stain. It's going to stay exactly the way you see it until, you know, you rip it out, or it will always be the same. So that's the beauty of glass, that it will not change.
I have a question.
Yes.
I know I was working while you were setting up the showroom, and I overheard you talking about the lips. You know, what inspired you to come up with this lips design?
Oh, okay. So, well, I really always believe a smile is so important. You know, like, I live in New York City. It's really hard to get a smile out of a lot of people. But if you look at somebody and you smile, they have to smile back, and you've made their day. And I thought, you know, I actually created it in 2020 when we couldn't see smiles. It was like, you know, you had to wear these masks. And, you know, I hated it, and I hated everything about it. So I felt like pucker, you know, I missed lipstick, and I missed all that, you know, I just missed smiling at each other and the life that we had. And so I came up with this interlocking lips, and it was my way to express, like, smile and be happy. And you look at this tile and you smile. And it's really, and I also thought, well, this is great for dental offices and medi-spas. And so I had, you know, ulterior motives also. But this is really it's a kitschy thing. It's, you know, it's not for everybody. But you know what? It's become so popular. You know, you go into a medi-spa, I mean, everyone in New York City, you know, you want to look younger, and you want to have pretty lips. So, you know, I mean, if you're designing for that, you know, a little bit goes a long way. So it was really just about, you know, being happy and smiley and, you know.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And then what made you get into the stones? Because I know recently you have taken your design from glass to stone, which, as you guys walked in, this wall right here, we have 9 panels. You'll see that a lot of your designs have been translated into stones.
Oh, so should I show you, like?
Do you do any mix of the stone and the glass?
Yes. So I don't know if you guys want to look. Oh. Well, I'll move over here now. Okay.
Yes, because I do want, you know,
Okay.
you to kind of talk about this.
Okay. So over here, so I've always loved marble, stone. I'm obsessed with marble. I just think it's the most natural stone is so beautiful, and I've never really been able to work with it because it's, you know, it's hard to hand cut. So I created a collection with 5 of my favorite patterns, and what I did a little bit different was that I used 3 different textures in every pattern. I used glossy, honed, and leathered. So when you feel it, there's so much texture to each one, and I'm just obsessed with stone now. I mean, like, I almost had a heart attack in the back there because it's so beautiful. And, you know, it's like God's gift to the world. And really, it's like what nature creates is just so beautiful. And I really wanted to be a part of that and do another medium. And I just fell in love with all the stone and all the things you could do with it. I find it's soft, it's durable. This is great for flooring. You know, we have 8 combinations from all white to black, you know, and in between. And in the catalog, you can choose your colors as well. It doesn't have to be one of my curated patterns. It could be one of your curated patterns. I mean, one of your curated colors. So it's fun. You can really play with it. You could say, you know, I want honed Calcutta and, you know, Rosa in leathered. And it's fun. It's something that you can put your touch on. And the waves could never go on the floor before. If anybody ever asked, I'd have to turn down that project. And I didn't want to turn it down either. So Now you can do it in, yeah, so now you can do all these patterns in the stone.
So what is the thickness? Is GCM? Is it thinner? 5/8?
No, it's not, it's half an inch.
Half an inch?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so, and these come in many, many different colors. And we do have catalogs of the stone floating around, and you'll get to see, you know, a few different installations that we've done, and it's just fun. It really is. So I was really excited to.
Before we move on to the wall, that's
Okay.
in the back, which if you guys haven't been there last 2 days, that's a brand new wall. I want to briefly talk about the 3 panels that we have in the niches. The reason when I ordered the showroom boards, usually it's 20 by 20, you know, I wanted to highlight her just to kind of have you guys understand that it doesn't have to be an installed piece of artwork, right? If you're like me, and you feel commitment, you know, too much color or whatnot, I think this is a really, really nice way to showcase, and you can order a panel. Lately, I've been hearing a lot of customers, you know, who shop with us, they say, your tiles are so beautiful, how can I install this tile and I want to be able to take it with me to my next house? I said, okay, so are we talking about this house, next house, what's going on? You can purchase again. But the whole point is that, you know, like I want you forever, right? But the whole point is that, you know, I want you guys to understand that, you know, you can actually have panels that are more like an art piece, you know. So for example, if you took one of these panels and you put antique glass, that could be a piece that's at the entrance of your house instead of having a boring mirror, you know. So just to kind of give you, and these are all custom made for our niches. So what that means for you guys is, you know, you can custom make these per your size, you know. And this wall right here we have was also, you know, with her. So will you talk about this wall? Because these are also
Sure.
some amazing
Okay.
pieces right here.
Okay, so this is the cameo, this is parquet, these are some of our, you know, oldest patterns, and then they paired them with some of our ready to ship. I love gold, so you'll see a lot of gold in things. Vines, you could say, I want to do a vine, can you custom, you know, design a vine for me? Palm trees. If you could, you know, if you have an idea and you know what, I love the technique here. It's really showing you techniques that we could work on together. You don't have to just say, I'll take that. Well, let's work on, you know, your type of leaf. So sometimes, you know, I'll give you some homework, like tell me what type of palm you want, and you know, you choose your color palette and we'll make it happen. I love doing vine. I love doing everything botanical. I love flowers. I love trees. So, you know, especially, you know, in a Brooklyn warehouse working all winter long, there's nothing nicer than to do a big project with, you know, colorful flowers. So keep us busy with those. We love that. This is the waves that we're also doing in the stone. This is very dramatic. This is great for a powder room, for a hospitality project. We do a lot of hospitality because the stuff is so vavoom. And it's great for also bar backs or the bar fronts, the bathrooms, any place where people are doing, you know, the whole world is on like Instagram now or TikTok, and it seems like they're always looking for places to take pictures. And it's so nice when you've given them, you know, a backdrop to do it. The whole world is just taking pictures of themselves. So it's nice that, I mean, it's just weird, like in the last literally like 5 years, the whole world has become so narcissistic that they need a backdrop for them, you know, for their photos. Well, you can give it to them and I'll help you create it. That's like, I love doing it. So, you know, use me for those. If you're doing, you know, any type of a commercial project, that's where, you know, we come alive and we will feed you whatever will help you for your project. Reptile, I love the reptile patterns. We could change the size. If you want it bigger, you want it smaller, you want 50 different colors with it, we can do that too. So I love this wall, and thank you for featuring it so beautifully. And it's nice how you've paired it with other tiles as well. So maybe you just do a section, floor to ceiling that's like 18 inches floor to ceiling, and you do a nice tile around the whole thing to stay in a budget. I love how you've curated different sections, so thank you. So.
I will say she is very flexible. She's very, very flexible. When I order my showroom boards, I know that I probably picked super conservative, super dull colors for Allison, right? Everything is shades of grays or blues and greens. And the nice thing about her is to be able to have her there for you, so I think that's really, really nice, because at the end of the day, she is an artist. So my whole goal is, when I start working with you guys, to really, really use your talent, So when I start working with you guys, we will probably pick a pattern, and then we'll have you guys go through the chips, and then I will like to have her input, because she's been doing this, right? And I want her to kind of go wild and crazy, and bring in some of Allison in our upcoming projects, because I think she's done enough projects too where she knows what works and what doesn't work. And one of the things that I love about her is she seems like the most outgoing person with what she creates, but she's one of the most humble person I've ever come across, even though I've met her only twice. She's just always available, and I love working with vendors that I can have access to. I have literally gotten rid of vendors that are difficult to work with because we deal with difficult situations. You guys know that, right? So it's very easy for me to one day walk into a showroom with a big trash can, and I've done that before, and literally taken off boards because I was that angry. Because I'm quite patient, but it's kind of like, we're answerable to you guys, and you guys are answerable to your customers, right? So for us, what's the most important thing is having vendors that are so supportive, vendors that we can work together, and having that edgy feeling, creating something that's so special, because all of you guys know of many, many other showrooms, right? And what makes us different is finding artists like Allison or some of our other vendors we have that are passionate, just as passionate as we are, because all of us, working here, I'll tell you, we put all this together, it takes a lot of energy, it takes a lot of passion, it takes a lot of detailness, and I have my team, I cannot tell you how grateful I am for my team, because to have a team that thinks like you, that shows up every day and works as a leader, it takes a lot, so I want to give special thanks to my team, because it doesn't matter how much passion you have and how much you want to do, you just can't do it yourself. So having talents like Allison and a team like I do, it's a blessing to get up every morning, honestly, to come to a place. This morning I called Michaela and I said, so do you guys know what you're gonna do, this chocolate covered strawberry? And she says to me, don't worry, we know what we're doing. And just to hear that, and it's something so simple, but so I just want to say thank you so much, guys, for allowing me to go do yoga once in a while, which is every day, and keeping this place and treating all of you guys like I would treat, so thank you guys. Thank you so much. Any other questions for Allison?
Ask away.
She's here,
I love
okay.
answering them, so yes.
On the installation side, if we work with you, let's say, to design a super awesome mural for a client of ours, how does the installation process for something like that work that isn't like the reptile scale? Is that something that's very specific to how it works? How do you?
Oh, so I will make it made to measure, and you could change the measurements, like, oh goodness, it was supposed to be 79 inches, it's now 82. Don't worry about it, we'll fill it in, before, but you could tell me and you give me the measurements and I create it made to measure. We plastic face front mount the entire mural and I number each piece and you get a map. And the map will show 1 connects to 2, connects to 3, connects to, and it will create the map. So for instance, something like this size wall could be installed in 1 day. Once you receive it. So we will make it perfect. We also send extra pieces because in the 9th hour, if something changes, you'll have them on site to if you need to make any adjustments. But if you some clients are like, we don't know, we're not going in to measure, just do it larger, and they'll cut it on site. Okay, no problem, we'll do that too. I can work any way that's easy for you, and I will make it work. So, yeah. Yes.
Those faceted jewel type mirrors that you those are so beautiful. Do you have like certain sizes and they come and you apply them to the wall? Or?
Well, we can. Every one that I've created so far, we frame them and we back them. So they're sold as a piece of art. They're really not. I don't sell them as a tile, but it can go in the wall as a tile for sure. But they've mostly been sold as pieces of art that we actually frame for you, and we put backings on, so all you have to do is hang them right up on the wall. We do a lot of artwork. We sell to galleries as well. We just had 2 solo shows during Art Basel. I wish I would have known you guys before because they were fabulous. I've been exhibiting at Art Basel for 20 years now, so our stuff sells in galleries. I keep those separate because somebody that's buying a piece of artwork, they don't always know that I make tile, because that's really where that's what I do. But I really love the prestige in of making artwork, and so we've been making artwork our whole career. So we just have always kept that separate, but we do that as well.
Now we know.
Yeah, now you know.
Will you talk about some of the commercial projects you worked? Houston Hobby has her stuff, which I just found out today. So
Yeah.
kind of that way, when they're in Vegas next time, they can kind of check out some of your work.
Okay, so yes, if you go to the Houston Hobby Airport, I did a lot of work. By baggage claim, literally 20 years ago. I mean, I've worked there. A lot of my work I do in Las Vegas. From the Cosmopolitan to the Wynn, Encore, Mirage, Circa, Rio, Bellagio, Venetian. I've done work all over Las Vegas. It's perfect for Las Vegas. It really is. And that's how I really started, was working with Las Vegas interior designers, because I love showing the vavoom. Most of the time we do very conservative projects, but I love being able to show the wild and crazy. And that's really, that's easier to publish, the wild and crazy, rather than just a white brick. So I've worked so much in Vegas. That's probably our largest resume at this point. I mean, if you're going there, there's something little in every single casino. I mean, maybe 1 or 2, no, and I'm very proud to say that. We've done something in every casino over the years. So, and it's nice because they're always renovating, So it's good to get in with them. So, any questions? All right. Well,
Joseph, do you want to talk about the Jolly Rancher?
Oh, the Jolly Ranchers. Okay. Well, So Joseph came up with a marketing thing of eating glass. I mean, I always say I love my glass so much I'd eat it. So we made glass for you guys to taste. It's really, really good. So it hasn't melted into each other yet. Well, it looks like it might have. But so really, I look at our color palette and I look at glass and I just think it's delicious. It is delicious. And so we created a new thing. And don't get scared, it's just Jolly Ranchers. You can eat glass too, so before I break my teeth. Help yourself. I actually made it, and it's delicious. So I love Jolly Ranchers, and so this is our glass. Might have been a little hot here. It's not so hot in New York. They might have been melting together, but they're delicious.
So Allison comes in, she says, "Oh my God, Houston weather is so good."
Oh, and you're coming from 20-degree weather. I mean, really.
Till July, okay?
Well, it's hot everywhere in July,
Yes,
but
I'd like you guys to try this with her. Right?
it's so good. It really is. If you like candy, and I love candy, I was eating them on the plane. I mean, it's just delicious. So, we hope you like them. I personally made them. And there's 2. And it looks like glass. So, enjoy.
And you guys, I don't know if every one of you guys had a chance to come say hi to her. I'm not sure when we're gonna have her back again, but she obviously loves Houston weather. So I guess
I'll come back anytime.
in spring and winter we can have her back again. August? No, she may never come back, right?
But if you're working on a project and you need me to come and you need me to help you, I'm always, I love traveling, so.
So you guys come in the front, take a picture with her, and have a piece of Jolly Rancher.
Just a fun little gimmicky thing, and they're good.
They're
so,
very yummy. Very
so we hope you enjoy them, and thank you so much for coming and listening. Thank you.